Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the video. And this is a paid request for Jason. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, whether it be a topic, reaction, commentary, review, re-review, tier list ranking, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. I do have a Cash App as well. Links are down in the info box, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. Again, pretty much any type of video. And for those who sent them, thank you. I really do appreciate it. It could be a video game playthrough, whatever the case. But Jason wanted me to look at The Day After from 1983, which was a very, very popular TV movie. That people don't realize, well, some may not realize just how big this TV movie was. I mean, at the time, I think more than 100 million people watched it. It was easily one of the most popular TV movies of all time. And it's directed by Nicholas Meyer, who did Star Trek 2 and Star Trek 6. And the cast, you got Jason Robards, you got JoBeth Williams from Poltergeist, you got John Lithgow from Raising Cain and Cliffhanger and Harry and the Hendersons. You got Steve Guttenberg, the Groot himself, the Groot, from Three Men and a Baby, and the first 4 Police Academy films, and Short Circuit. So you have quite a few people. So the deal is, I keep hesitating because it's a tough watch. Because I kind of, even though this came out the year I was born, I can still see how people felt when this movie came out, where it's trying to tell a very serious story of what would happen if there was a nuclear war, the fallout, and how people are affected by the fallout, and what do they do. And you see these people slowly being eaten away because of radiation sickness. And some people may watch and go, okay, maybe some of the details of the scientific accuracy maybe isn't up to par. Maybe some of the effects on certain things will not be as emboldened with people today as they were back then. But the emotion is still there. It takes a bit of time to establish the characters. The movie takes place around Kansas City, Missouri, in that area. And you have Jason Robards, who's a doctor, and the people he worked with. One is a woman called JoBeth Williams. I mean, her name. I forget her character's name. But she's a doctor with Jason Robards. You also have, I forget his name. He was the Asian guy in RoboCop who was part of the crew of bad guys with Clarence Boddicker. I think the drug factory bit when RoboCop's ready to kill them all. He's like, fuck you. The Asian guy, he's one of the doctors in this. Steve Guttenberg is a hitchhiker. He's trying to get from point A to point B until he finally finds his family that takes him in for a bit. John Lithgow is a science teacher, and him and his guys, including, what's his name, from Animal House. He played the character Flounder, I believe. He was the bigger, thicker guy, the new recruit. When they put his name on the projector, Belushi and them yell, no, boo, boo. Oh, come on, guys, let's give him a chance. He was also Chuck Norris's partner in Sound Rage. I forget his name, I'm bad with names, but he's with John Lithgow. You also have this Air Force guy, this airman, who has a wife and a kid. So you have this group of characters we're establishing that would all follow the aftermath of these characters. And so one thing leads to another. After a bit of build-up, the time comes and the shit hits the fan, and adios muchachos. It's one of those things that you kind of live vicariously through the characters. And yeah, maybe the explosion, the initial bit where Jason Robards sees it and is hiding in his car, maybe some people will kind of mock the effects of that. But I think for 1983 and for what they could do with a TV movie, I think they did as well as they could. And then they used actual footage of destruction for when the cities are being destroyed. One I still think this was a creepy bit of editing where in the initial explosion there are people that get vaporized and you see this kind of a flash, but you see like a bit of their skeleton. And you have this like horrific screams they're having. And it don't matter if you're a kid or you're a woman, don't matter, a group of kids. You have like, and then you see the skeleton. It just looks very creepy. It's done, at least to me, a very creepy way. And then after the dust settles and, you know, a good chunk of people have died, people like Jason Robards kind of walk out, they're dazed. As he puts it, it's like the sun exploded. And then you see the aftermath with how these people are dealing with it. How there's a bit of lawlessness, how one person's freaking out, so Steve Gutenberg has to follow her outside, but of course they're rolling around in the dust, which means there's going to be more radiation sickness. Jason Robards and his doctors are trying to help people, but as time goes on, you see how they're getting more and more sickness, and there's more and more people coming in, and they have less and less supplies. They get no answers from the government. There's more squatters everywhere. And just a complete breakdown of everything. As the sickness that went through them like an x-ray is just deteriorating them step by step. And there's firing squads for looters without a trial. One of the kids Steve Gutenberg knows got blinded. And so they're going from A to B. And the kid's like, oh, well, what do you see? Oh, just the usual. But we see, what he sees is dead bodies littering the fields. And it's done fairly matter of fact. The procedures of the military as they're launching the missiles seems rather legit. Like they try to go very much detail as to goings on that front. And it also makes you think, it makes you question, what would you do during this situation where truthfully there's nothing they can do. You commend the doctors for still trying to help people despite what's going on. And they're trying to do their best. But it just to a point, at least for me, just start feeling bad for them. Start feeling bad for the people, for the folks. And some people did better than others. Spoilers. Like John Lithgow and his science team, they kept fairly well inside. So they don't really have the effects of the radiation. But then the people like Jason Robards and them helping out, you tell that they're more and more disheveled, more and more dirty, more and more tired. And because Jason Robards was close to the blast, you tell that he's getting a bit of the sickness. Because Steve Gutenberg had to help this fucking bitch, this fucking idiot, I'm gonna call her, this fucking dumbass. I did freaking out because I do get that, but she runs outside and she's topples. Why don't you just take a big old... You might as well put the dust in this and drink it, bitch. The reason I'm pissed off at her, she got the goot sick. You do not get the goot sick. Okay? The goot is the goot. Alright? 3 Men and a Baby. Short Circuit. Police Academy. You don't fuck with the goot. She did. So, fuck her. Not the actress, but the character. And to be honest, I found her rather annoying. I get being depressed, of course, but like the only thing she had was bitching, so I got annoyed with her quick. Felt sorry for Steve Gutenberg. Again, this is a spoiler, especially the last scene where it's like a football field full of people, you know, not doing the best. She's lying down. He takes off his hat. Did you tell he's bald? He's fairly bald here, and he's got a bit of the sickness too. So who knows? Who knows how long Steve Gutenberg's character is going to last? It's like a gym, actually. It's like a gym of sick people. The airman, he kind of wander around the place he was going to. He finds out that there's nothing left there, which means his wife and baby. Which actually, if you paid close attention to when people were being vaporized in the initial blast, we do see that his wife and baby do get killed during that. If you paid close enough attention. Except he doesn't know that yet. He pretty much succumbs to his he's at the hospital, and you tell he's got burns all over, and he's more and more mentally crazy, so the airman pretty much doesn't make it. Like I said, Steve Gutenberg's sick. Of the family he's staying with, the farmer family, there's one guy, he looks at some squatters, he's like, hey, this is my place, and he gets shot and killed. Because I guess, hey, it's harder to trust people nowadays, I guess. Trust is a tough thing to come by these days. One thing that I thought was weird, I don't know if this was, I think this was changed. Jo Beth Williams, she dies off screen. It was meningitis, or I don't know what the hell I can't remember the details, but I thought she seemed like a pretty big character, and the fact you kill her off screen, I thought that was kind of crappy. I thought that really missed the impact, because it's like, oh, I didn't even see she was sick. Now all of a sudden she's dead. Like, if I know that's not the case, but I'm just saying it makes it feel like it was a last minute rush job decision. Yeah, kill her off. Don't worry about it. Don't shoot any more of her shit. She got fired. I know that's not the case, but this would feel. It just. I didn't care for how nonchalant they dealt with that character. The Asian guy, I don't know, he's kind of like one of the only doctors left that doesn't seem too sick. He's got his full set of hair, among other stuff. You tell he's tired, though. Jason Robards, he goes home, finds his place is no longer there. There's a squatter. And a little moment, nice little moment where the guy offers him food, and Jason's shocked about it, and they kind of huddle and they cry, because who wouldn't in this situation? It's just one of those movies that's not exactly a happy-go-lucky type of way, so I would never see it again. I've seen it once before. Now that I've seen it twice, I will never see it again, because it's a tough movie to watch. But it is, I think for what it was trying to showcase, it definitely gives you that notion of get your shit together and let's not ever let this become a reality type of thing. I wanted to mention, what was his name? Stephen First, the guy from Animal House. He's the guy I was talking about, and he was in Silent Rage. He was with John Lithgow. His name is Stephen First. Also, a guy who was a boyfriend of one of the kids of the farmer family, which later he gets to the store, everyone's trying to take everything, he's trying to come back, the blast happens, he gets vaporized. That guy's Jeff East, which he was the young Clark Kent, the teenager, and Richard Donner's Superman. Now granted, they put Christopher Reeve's voice onto him, but he was the teenage version of Superman in the first one, Richard Donner movie. Also, the guy who played the airman is William Allen Young. I'm sitting there going, I know he looks familiar, this guy. He was in Lockup. It was Sylvester Stallone. I think he was the guard who was friendly with John Amos. And they both kind of didn't like what was going on with Stallone's character. I think that was him. He was also in Wisdom as an agent. He did a lot of TV work. I wanted to check. It was the idea of ABC Motion Picture Division President Brandon Stoddard, who after watching The China Syndrome was so impressed that he envisioned creating a film exploring the effects of nuclear war in the U.S. Apparently, the idea of making a TV movie showing the true effects of nuclear war on average American citizens was stirring up controversy. It was originally planned to air as a 4-hour TV event, total running time of 180 minutes. He felt the director felt the original script was padded, suggested cutting out an hour of material to present the whole film in one night. There's 172 word print apparently that has surfaced. Interesting. Huh. So I'm just looking through the 1983 May debuted on ABC. Some of the cutscenes, toned down scenes to reduce the body count or severe burn victims. One cutscene shows surviving students battling over food. But yeah, it was a huge deal. And again, yes, yeah, you see some stuff that was cut. I don't know they were filmed, but they feel like they were cut. Like Jo Beth Williams, it felt like there was maybe more to her character that might have been left on either script-wise or filming-wise they cut out. And I don't think her death should have been off-screen. Let's say it's one of those movies that you're watching this as a drama. I mean, there's not action. It's not that kind of movie. You're not going to get a whole lot of laughs out of it. I mean, it's supposed to be one big bummer because it's supposed to get people to go, yeah, maybe don't do this shit because you want to be close to this. And I don't know what to say. It's just a big bummer of a movie that is effective in what it was showcasing. It has a good cast. I would like to have seen more John Lithgow. I like John Lithgow, so I would like to have seen more of him throughout the picture. It doesn't really get too sentimental or I don't know. Like I said, it states things for good chunk matter of fact, which I thought was appropriate in this. So it didn't feel preachy in a weird way. But yeah, the day after, definitely a movie that again, for all these people out there, these higher ups in the government, maybe take a look at a film like this and go, do you really want to take any steps in that direction? Do you really? Hmm. Just saying. And people say that it would be much worse than it was showcased in the movie. Some, not all, but some say this was nothing compared to what would really happen. So here's praying it will never will. But you know me, I'm cynical, I'm pessimistic. So that way, if I'm proven wrong, I win anyway. So there's that. But yeah, the day after, like I said, people just do not realize how humongously huge this film was back in the day. And it definitely gets you in the feels, so I'll say that. On purpose, of course. So the day after, I guess if you want to watch a piece of TV history, that became one of the more popular TV movies of all time, and if the cast interests you, sure. Like I said, I do wish John Lithgow was in the film more. Like I said, it was admired as a capable job direction-wise. And overall, not a bad movie if you know you're going for a depressing state of affairs. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.